Hello Rosy Ones, it's Sandy here, and yeah, this is my first experience of using this Facebook Live technology to do the rose reading. We've been exploring different ways in which I can share this with you, and this seems to be quite a fun way of some kind of live interaction. I'm really interested to see how this might work, and if I'm going to be able to pick up who's live on the call with me, yeah, how this sort of interacts. So this is quite a complex time, I feel. There's been a real sense of sort of flux in the energies, and several people that I've been working with and also that I've had conversations with today have said how emotional they have felt as we've moved into this sort of new moon arena. So, these are very interesting times to navigate, and it feels to me that we're being asked to really clear some of the core wounds that we've been carrying. And what's so fascinating is that this rose reading, the cards that have selected themselves, well, you'll see as we do this share, just the nature of the energies that we're working with on lots of levels. So we'll do the rose reading, and then I'll update you on some of the travels that I've had in the last few weeks, and just where that has sort of led me in my inquiry, if you like, as to the richness of the journey that we're on. So without further ado, I invite you to just see which one of these roses resonates for you as they come up. So here is rose card 1. Here is rose card 2. And here is rose card 3. So let's see what pops for you, and what guidance the roses have that they can offer you at this time. So if you chose rose card 1, here she is. She is Rose Angel 9. Now, Rose Angel 9 is one of the cards that comes forward in the Rose Angel set. And the Rose Angel set are the transformers for the 5 wounds of the heart, or the 5 Magdalene wounds of abandonment, betrayal, denial, judgment and separation. And they work in different areas of the body. They have a very clear message. And this is Rose Angel 9, and she sits in the base 2nd chakra area, and she is all about the transformer from abandonment to self-love and self-esteem. So if you were drawn to Rose 1, or the Rose card 1, there's a sense that you're being asked to look at this place of rooting, this place of self-esteem, self-value. Where do you stand up for yourself? The hips and the legs are that place of where we feel anchored and we feel rooted to Mother Earth. We feel connected in this continuum of energy that runs down through the core of the body and allows us actually to be the pathway of bringing heaven on earth. So she sits in the base second chakra, base sacral chakra, and she's calling us to really look at the places, not necessarily where we've experienced being abandoned by another, but where have we abandoned ourselves? You can get a better look at her if I hold it really close. She's a really, really powerful, protective rose. And this, that we can abandon ourselves in many ways. And, this core of us that has self-belief, it has self-esteem, has self-love, is what she's calling you to look at. We've always felt that sort of self first was selfish, but actually when we look at it deeper, it really is the calling to self-knowledge and self-understanding. And when we do that, everything else stacks up. It's like the foundations of a building. If the foundations on a building aren't stable and aren't solid, then the rest of the structure doesn't stand well. It makes it vulnerable, makes it flaky. So this place where we don't abandon ourselves, where we actually stand for what we believe in, that we step forward into that place of really being able to stand for what we believe in. And when we do that, of course, it gives people the opportunity to really know who we are, and that we have a sense of solidity and stability within our own field. So here she is, Rose Angel 9, and she's really calling you to look and see anywhere in which self-love, self-esteem, self-value have come up for you in this period of time. And going into this new moon, the new moon is about new beginnings, new ways of doing things, letting go of the old, changing the patterns. And we have to change something within ourselves in order for something to change in our external world. So if you chose card 1, Rose card 1, this is what she's actually calling you to. So if you chose Rose card 2, here she is, Rose Angel 5. Now, I think you can probably see her. She also is one of the Rose Angels, and this one sits on the throat. So she's one of the 2 Rose Angels, Rose Angel 5 and Rose Angel 6, who are the transformers from denial to truth. So she's calling, and if you've chosen her, maybe there's something here whereby you need to speak your truth. You need to express something that perhaps you've been reluctant to say. She's got this real openness to her, and yet there is this aspect to her in the center that almost says she's almost like she's pregnant in here. It's like, is there something locked here that really is calling you for expression? Or is this a creative idea that actually is very, very ready to be taken into this next phase. There was a saying that was said to me many, many years ago about the danger of sharing ahead of time and how that dissipates the power of the ideas that we get, the inspiration that we get, and that, there is an incubation time. There is a place in which we need to give attention and thought to the idea in order to nurture it, in order to nourish it. And when we share ahead of time, the response from others can be such that it takes the wind out of our sails, or it takes the magic away from what we've been excited by. So, again, is that now that's the time you are ready to share something that you've been developing? There's also an aspect to this particular rose that in the core wound of denial, we can experience denial by another, somebody not honouring us or not recognising what we bring. But, there is a place in which when we deny how we feel about something, or perhaps choose not to share an insight that we've got about a circumstance or a situation. And what we do is we deny another the opportunity of hearing our wisdom. So, there are many aspects to this. And when you've chosen this rose card 2, this particular rose is calling you to attention. This is about something around the throat, clearing your throat. So, beautiful rose, really wanting the expression. So, yeah. And if you chose rose card 3, lo and behold, it's another rose angel. So this is rose angel 7. Now, rose angel 7 sits on the solar plexus, and her message is all about the wound of betrayal and trust. These are the energies. And she's like a chalice, she's like a cup. And, she's wanting us to be able to stand strong in our self-belief and our gut knowing, our gut feeling. So there must be something here that's calling you to look at a gut feeling that you've had, or the letting go of something when you've experienced perhaps the flavour of betrayal, that, when you track it back, you realise that there was a gut feeling that you didn't perhaps take notice of. So when we come into this place of trust, of course there's a connection here with the expression, because when we get this gut feeling about something and we have the courage to express it, we are able to express the truth of what we the impulse within. So the more we're able to trust our gut feeling, so this rose, if you chose her, is calling you to do that. She's calling you to have taken notice of some aspect of a gut feeling about something. So powerful rose. And you know, when we take notice, when we do pay attention and respond, when we get a gut feeling about something, there's a place in which we learn to trust that inner wisdom, that intuition. And this is a core piece of the feminine, core piece of our gifts, in being able to be responsive to this energy. And you look at this rose. I mean, she looks like she has a chalice, but she's also almost like she's got stabilizer wheels. So when we trust this gut feeling, there is a sense of being able to trust ourselves. So I'm finding it interesting that we've got 3 of these Rose Angel roses that have come forward today. So that first rose, so she's asking that we hold self-love, self-esteem, self-appreciation into the base sacral chakra. Then if you move up to rose 3, so this is this trusting the gut knowing. Because, you know, we can ignore our gut feeling about things. So, and what do? Is we go up to the throat and the rose 2, in the truth of our expression. So really powerful combination of roses here that have come forward for our energy as we go into this new moon. Where do we need to make this transformation? Where do you need to make this transformation in your life so that you can step forward feeling more complete, more courageous in this time? And the place of exploration for me just at the moment has been around the energy of queen, of this sovereign sense of ourselves, of being able to be resourced and yet aware of where we've still got work to do. And the energy of queen with the feminine matches the energy of king with the masculine. So when we look at the archetypes, it is the weave of the mother and the lover and the Amazon and the medial, or the intuitive sorceress energy, that brings us into this sort of completeness of the feminine. And for the masculine, it is the weave of the father, the lover, the warrior and the magician. And these are powerful resources for us as we work with these final pieces of bringing ourselves into this place of sovereign, of being sovereign beings of our own lives. Where do we activate fully our own crown energy? Where do we crown ourselves? So my journey over this last few weeks has been down into the south of France and to a wonderful retreat at the Yobaba Lounge, and an exploration of the connection into Mother Earth. I was working with a wonderful woman called Gertrude Mayer, who owns Yobaba Lounge, and she has a really unique take on this connection within ourselves and our connection and our breathwork into and connecting with Mother Earth, clearing the energies up through the spine, through really palpable Ujjayi breathing and movement, and some stunning food. Those of you who followed me on Facebook will have seen some pretty scrummy plates of food in the process. And then since then, I've come back and made a journey to Belfast to work with clients in Belfast alongside Christian Kyriakou. And again, the universe giving me connections into storylines and unfoldings that are very much working with the mother aspect of the queen energy, this connection into the richness of the mother frequency. And I've certainly been exploring that with groups here, and I had a really lovely retreat at the Chalice Well. Wonderful group of beautiful, powerful women who came together and to explore the mother aspect and the goddess aspects of themselves with the red and the white springs, weaving the red and the white energies. So I'm in preparation here for a Rose 1 and Rose 2 workshop this weekend. So this beautiful rosy mandala set to hold the energies here. And the rose behind me is Rosemar 1 from the rose set. And I've just had a new delivery of beautiful silk wraps and scarves. So I'm going to be busy on my sewing machine putting these all together. And this Rosemar 1, she says, I am magnetic. And this is the essence of our heart energy. This is what the work is all about, really, to heal and clear any of the residual patterns and programs that we've got running that colour or inhibit the radiance of our hearts. Because this rose says, you know, I am magnetic. I attract to me all that is in the deepest resonance with my calling, my heart's calling. For in that is my truth and my power. So I leave you with that for this Facebook Live experience, only hoping and praying that actually this has managed to happen. And yeah, with much love and rosy blessings. And do leave me any feedback or any insights that you may have had through this this journey. So until next, from my heart to yours, thank you, and thank you for joining me.